Hey, it's all raining and muddy today, but I've got the toolbox picked up, the top box picked up from Harbor Freight, and I'm going to try to unbox it and get it set up on the bottom box today. So, thought I'd make a quick video of it, even though it's raining and muddy. Leah and I are going to work on it. It's Sunday, and we've got everything else kind of done around the house, so that's our plan. She agrees. Part of the project today, though, is going to be to cut this shelf maybe right along in here and fold it up somehow so we can set the top box up on here. So we'll get to work on that, and we'll get to unboxing this, and we'll work in the rain a little bit. It's okay. Hey, we got it all open now, but it's way too heavy for me to pick up by myself, so I'm going to have to take the drawers out of it. I'm going to have to trim that shelf up there and just to be able to pick it up in there. So I'll get to working on that part. What are you going to do? Huh? What are you going to do? Huh? Okay, so what I've done is scribed a little line. I'm just going to take what I call a whiz wheel and saw that right there and see how that does. I gave myself like a little 2-inch gap. That way, if there was ever an issue, or I didn't want it to be perfect with this because it might rub up against it. And also, I'll eventually have to take this end piece right here, this little end cap. I'll have to drill those rivets out, move it down to here, and place it into here. So that'll I'm going to try to cover everything up because it's going to be throwing those shavings around. I believe these are aluminum, so it won't throw sparks, but still, I don't want to get my new toolbox nasty. Sometimes I kind of thinking, what am I doing with this truck? What am I going to do with it? Am I going to make it a mobile garage? Am I going to make it a personal garage? I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I know how to work on a lot of things. I know how to work on air conditioners, and I know how to work on cars. I know how to work on houses. Jack of all trades or something like that. But I don't know. I sit out here and I work on it and I think about, what am I going to do with the van? Am I going to, go into business for myself one day? Am I going to just work for another company forever? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I even think sometimes, like, I have an Airbnb that I run, and I think, well, wouldn't it be cool if, like, I could work on Airbnbs for people, like drive the van to them, work on them, and then stay in that area for like a week or something. I mean, I think that would be cool. Like, I have an Airbnb and sometimes I have to work on it, and I just had to replace the floor in my little camper. It took me like 4 evenings to do it. It probably would have only took like 2 days if I was already, if it was my full-time job. And sometimes I think about converting this to some sort of like mobile truck where I drive and work on stuff. Well, two things got me to thinking about that. One would be, well, the most recent one, I'll go backwards. The most recent one was we had a flood in our area here in Waverly, Tennessee. I believe like 20 people died, and people came from all over. People came from Oklahoma, all over Texas. I saw plates on license plates on cars from everywhere. I switched my camper over to flood relief, and so for nonprofits and people working in them and stuff like that. And one of the companies was a nonprofit called Tool World. They showed up with a bunch of tools. They stayed down here a week, and then I had some 8 Days of Hope. They stayed down here for a week as well, and they were just travelers. I don't know that's exactly what I want to do, but it made me start thinking about something like that. What if I could take a week off and go to an area and work on stuff, or 2 weeks off? And then if you back up even before that, what kind of got me to thinking about the mobile world, if that's to say the mobile world of tools, was this guy who drove a bus. It's called an old Silversides bus, and he was his name was Bus Grease Monkey, or that was his YouTube channel. And I started following him, watching him, and he drives around and works on things, and I really love the guy. Kind of inspired me to get this going, so thanks to him, it got me to looking into buses and mobile mechanic vans and things like that. Originally, I bought this thing to sell it, and I've bought them before to sell them, and I did pretty well on them. But this one, I was like, no, it's a keeper. It's got a Mercedes turbo diesel. So yeah, those two things kind of got me to thinking about what I'm going to do with the truck, or what I'm going to do with myself, and I figured I'd figure it out along the way. But the main thing is just to get the tools in the truck and get it where it functions, get the things the way I want them, and then I can do whatever with it. So anyways, that's just what I was thinking about. Figured I'd film it, and I'll go back to working. Enough talking. All right, well, that didn't go too bad. I still need to remove this off the wall, and I'm going to cut this little end piece off, and I'll probably fasten it to this. I don't know if I'll do it in the video or not. And I'm going to start taking the drawers out of the box and see if I can get it set up on there. Pretty new to this, so I'm always trying to figure out the camera angles. And I guess I learn a little each time. Maybe by the time I get the truck done, I'll have it all figured out. When to talk, when not to talk, when to film, when to time lapse, stuff like that. So normally I just make alarm clock videos and vacuum cleaner videos and stuff like that. And I thought, well, hell, I'll do something for my own. Film it. Because I'm always working on something. Always. Whether it's something around here at the house or obviously I have a full-time job. But I keep a project going all the time. It's kind of what I enjoy doing, you know. I just wake up on Saturday mornings and I get to cleaning and get to working on something. I do the same thing on Sunday. And even when I don't feel like working on something. And you think, well, how's that work? Well, what I figured out is that when I don't feel like working on something, if I get up and start working on something, I feel like it. So even when I kind of feel like just doing nothing, I'll still get up and get to going. And once I get to going, I feel pretty good. And maybe it's the coffee. I don't know. That compressor is very handy to have in this truck. That can blow all the little chips out, and the dust, and everything. And it's working off my inverter, so that's pretty darn nice. I'm going to go ahead and blow this off while I see it. I still don't have the compressor exactly where I want it. Just kind of got it tied to the wall here. I'll show you since I'm yakking about it. Yeah, that was just a bad tie job. I mean, he held it to the wall, but it's very, very temporary. I'm thinking I'm probably going to put the compressor right here eventually because it'll save my floor space is precious. And like in a city, you can build up, you can't build out. So thinking take the compressor, set it up on here, it'll fill that gap there. And obviously I have a hose reel that I still have to mount, still sitting in the box. I'll incorporate the hose reel somewhere back there and make it where I can use the hose reel out the back of the truck fairly easily. All right, let's get these drawers removed and see if I can set this box up on here and figure out how to take the top off of it, because I don't think there's any way in the world that top is going to come off that box. That toolbox is still heavy. I don't know what each of those drawers weigh, but each of those drawers is heavy. And the entire toolbox itself is still heavy with the drawers out. That's a good thing. I'm not complaining. Thank you, Harbor Freight, for building things thick enough to last. It's a good thing I left the gap between this and this because these handles need to go on. I'm obviously going to need them to be able to lift the box up. My goal today is just get the box up on here, and that's all I plan on doing. So I'm going to try to get these handles on here, and there's two more little things up here I need to cut, these little bumpers, because there used to be a shelf here. There used to be another one of these fold down shelves like on the other side, so I'm going to have to cut these bumpers off because the back of the box is going to press up against those. Okay, so the box is still too heavy to pick up on my own, so I got to brainstorming and thinking, well, I can tie some ropes to the ceiling, but there's not a lot of structure up there. What I came up with in my mind, and I obviously haven't tried it yet, is I can pick it up a little bit at a time, so I'm thinking I can pick the box up and put some cribbing underneath it, maybe a couple of those milk crates, and then just waddle it up till I get it level with this, and then once I get it level with this, shove it across. So that's the plan. If it works, it works. And if it don't, I guess it'll fall over and I'll dump the box on the floor and I'll learn my lesson. We'll see.
Alright, so I recorded this part of the video with the GoPro camera that I always use. This time I let the GoPro use its own time-lapse function versus just shooting a straight-through video. My SD card was starting to fill up, so I knew I needed the additional space. Right here you can see me obviously building up cribbing and trying to kind of figure things out as I go. My main concern was that the box would fall either to the right or that the cribbing itself would like kick out on me and then I would be in trouble. So what I decided to start doing while I was building it was start shooting some screws in it along the way to kind of hold it together. As I'm adding the cribbing, I shoot some screws in it to kind of stabilize it. And the pause is I'm going back to my wood pile to get some wood. And let's see, I'm putting some screws in it. Here we go. Doing a little measuring. So this is difficult to do on your own. I actually wound up having to go get some help to set it up on there. I'm getting pretty close to shifting it over here in the next few seconds. Yeah. Just letting her know not to smash her fingers whenever she shifts it on there. Making sure she can lift it, and there we go. It's on there. That was quick. Or it seemed quick, but it wasn't really quick at all. I'm just going to disassemble the cribbing that I built up here, and Leah comes back in the van and gets in the way for a second. But that's fine. I like her. She's part of it. She's part of the deal. Getting everything out of the way so I can finally do the last little bit of the video.
Alright, yeah, as you saw, we got the top box on top of the bottom box. That was kind of an experience doing that. It was a little dangerous. I probably shouldn't have done it. I nearly dropped it, and I'm sure there was a better way. I don't know, but it's what I did. So yeah, it's up here. It's not fastened yet, so I have to figure out a way I want to fasten it, whether it be to the wall back there, which is probably the safest way, or just attach it to the bottom. I don't know. I'll figure all that out here. Probably not going to make a video of it just because it's not that entertaining. That's really nothing that fancy. I was happy to know that the lid lifts up. That was kind of nice. It doesn't go all the way open, but it's far enough, you know, I'm happy with it. And I remember whenever I first was cutting this edge, I thought, well, I need to put enough gap to be able to open and close this, but I did not. So this hits the handle. So, oh well. I can either cut another inch off this, and I'll do that on my own. I'm not going to do it on y'all's time. So probably cut a little more off here where I can open and close this if I ever need to. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I forgot about. But I'm about done for the day. I'm sweating. It's hot. I didn't plan on spending this much time on it, but I did. And even my pup is, she's played out. Aren't you, Leah? Huh? Oh, where's your balls? You don't even know where they're at, do you? Where's your balls? Huh? Come here. Where are they at? Where are they at? They're in that bin. Look in that bin. Just look. Look here. Look here. I hid them from you. Whoa. Do like a bounce off. Oh, perfect. Come here. Bring it up here. Good girl. Drop it. Oh. Bring it up here. Come here. Glad. Come here. Come here. Sit. Drop it. Drop it. Oh. Look here. Bring it up here. Oh. Perfect. She landed the first one and the last one perfectly, so that's good. Oh yeah, I know what I was gonna say. Is that I think my next video, I've always written down what I'm gonna try to remember to do. But on my next video, I'm gonna make a place for her to sit in the van while we're driving. And what I'm thinking is right here. I'm gonna remove this and make like a little seat. She'll already get up here, but there's really not enough room for her to maneuver around. So we'll make a little carpeted area here for her to get up so she can see out the window and stuff while we're driving. Ain't that what you want?